Okay, should be live now, right? It'll be a bit of a short segment here for like maybe 3-4 hours, and then it'll loop, and then I'll be back later again tonight. Anyways, let me get the recording started too. Alright, so we have the new Snowbreak patch here. Let's see what we got here.
The adjutant's here. Quietly now.
Right, to give the polls.
Missed me? Huh? Not even
I'll have to claim this stuff there in a bit. Ah yes, the compensation and everything. Of course. Do we even have enough to pull? I have no idea. Alright, one sec. Okay, let's see. Alright, like all these events are like not available yet. Yeah. Wait, no. The minigame mode is available. And there's all that stuff. Okay. Let's do the trials then. Let's see how the new character works first. Okay. I don't know what I just did, but I did something. Right? So it seems like... Okay, she can only hold up to 4. Whatever that is. And then... Okay, then she like drains all of it. Okay. So she seems like very single target focused. She has like a very quick reload. Hi Grill. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're gonna have like a short-ish segment here, and then it's gonna loop on Twitch after for like a bit. Because I have to get some other stuff done later. But that's like the plan. Okay. And then, of course, this is a rerun. We'll get a bunch of the resources first, and then... Okay. That, plus I got a bit intimate with the toilet. But yeah. But I gotta get some other stuff done in a few hours. So we're gonna be here for a bit of a short period, and then I'll be back again later tonight. But at the same time, in the meantime, I can also use it to farm drops and shit off Twitch. So, oh, exit. So we're gonna do that.
分析員とだからこれくらいは
At least that's the plan.
一発で仕留めてやったのはせめての情けだ
And then we have the skins. Okay.
分析員のことはブブが守るから。
Where are the freaking mobs? Where are they?
逃がさない。くらえ。もう一絲べからずだよ。
Alright, on to the next one.
分析員との絆の力。やっぱり最強だね。
Alright, now we got this one.
Time to wipe out these gloomy misers.
Why aren't they spawning in here yet? Come on.
Take this. Darling, wipe me down, will you?
Easy.
We're closer to our perfect ending, darling.
I wonder how long the story is.
Surprise! A gift of special love just for you.
They still don't have like English voices for Boo Boo as well for the thing, which is interesting. Alright, let's see the next one. Okay.
I'll protect us both.
No, I have today off.
Quick break, everyone.
But there's other stuff I need to get done later.
Can't stop. It'll be fine in a sec. If only there were another way around this. Stay still, won't you?
Oh. Okay.
Don't worry. These realizations won't make me waver.
Alright, next thing. Alright, let's get all of these dumped for the
Combat.
resources.
Good. Objective complete. Stay alert. To the death. Sure. Why not? Enemy is down. Stay sharp. A lovely sound.
Alright, that one's cleared.
The outcome was decided long before we took the field.
Alright, on to the next one. Yes. Okay, 2 more. And then we can go on to the other thing.
バンケットの始まりね。さて、華々しい登場といきましょう。
Alright.
翼よ。別に失敗じゃないわよね。分析員さん。力が。任務は果たしましたわ。
Oh, like even those are a bit different VFX
期待
there.
してもよろしいかしら
Neat.
勝利っていつも欲望を膨らませるものね
And then we have this one.
騒がしい場所だな。少し静かに
And then of course this is being rerun. At least spawning already.
それこの戦果は分析員と分け合うべきだな。見事な采配だ。素晴らしいぞ。
Alright, we got that cleared. Wonder how long the story is though. Hopefully it's not too long. What? Why the hell does it cost them $20? The fuck are the dumbasses there doing for it to cost so much? Like actually. What the hell are their dumbasses doing for it to cost $20? Like actually. For it to cost them that much, something is going on there. Especially because like what they can put on there and what they can fit is not worth $20. Yeah, I know. It's just that like that's way too much for how small they are. Like actually. Because like when you consider let's say like well I think it was what Kyokusha, which was a sub brand of Toshiba, right? Japanese company there. Like they would literally sell like, you know, SSDs to the consumers, like 1 terabyte SSDs. Some of them having like a DRAM cache for like $50 as like a retail price. You know, retail price, and they're like much faster, higher quality NAND chips. So it's like, what the fuck are the dumbasses they're doing? Yeah, I know. It's just like, what the fuck are the idiots there doing, man? For the thing to cost so much. Because, like, they're not exactly very high in capacity. Like, for 20 bucks, if, like, that's what it costs them internally, you know, they better hold, like, freaking 400 gigabytes of data, but they don't. They're, like, hard capped at 80. Like, what the fuck are the idiots there doing? Like, actually. But then again, Nintendo's engineers are retarded enough to not follow the USB spec for the Switch 1. Like, bruh. The USB consortium has like a full-on list of specs on like how you're supposed to handle things for power delivery, and they don't even follow that. End result, a bunch of people got their devices bricked because they used a better charger than the one that they got. Yeah, well, whatever it is, the engineers at Nintendo are fucking retarded. But like, if you actually understood a little bit about circuit design and you looked at the circuitry of a Switch 1 with a power delivery circuit, you'd kind of come up with that same conclusion. Because it's not like the documentation and everything for the stuff they're using doesn't exist. Right. It's not like it doesn't exist or anything. Oh, wait. Alright. We got that there. So that's another pull there. That's another easy one we can go after. Yeah, I know, but they're ordering from another manufacturer to give them the chips, man. I don't know what the hell they're fucking doing, but whatever they're doing, it's stupid. Like, actually. Like, why aren't they just using the cheaper NAND chips that they could get? Let's see. Oh yeah, we have things here. 3 games, and there's all this other stuff. Oh yeah, there's like a solo non-matchmaking mode. Oh yeah, the trick for this one is just suicide and jump off the platform. That's a big brain thing. Right there. And you can do it 10 times. Well, they did say, let's optimize it. So, optimization means cheesing it. Alright. Oh, it's a massive waste. But hey, you see the thing with the console sales like flopping? it do be funny. They all been doing poorly so far compared to last year, which is a good thing. considering what they're doing. Yes, I remember. I remember when they would also come out with the full game, no need for patches or anything. It would just work. You would just have the whole thing out of the box. God, this is so slow. These platforms are so slow, man. I won that one. Oh, they have the other things in there too. Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of that one. Rank top 10 in assimilation 3 times. Okay, hi Flagger. Welcome, welcome. We'll get another pull there.
I'll help you pick out something useful too.
How many do we have? Do we have enough? Oh wow. Lots of jiggle there. Okay, I think we have enough to pull. Yeah, we should have enough. Wait. And then we'll build her after. The other trials are not there yet. We'll do the story after. But yeah, hi there, Sky or Rallo. Oh, welcome. This is gonna be a bit of a shorter segment that we'll just loop for a bit after, because then the plan is I'll be back later again tonight for more stuff. We're gonna just get Boo Boo first. We'll do the story later. Alright, then that way as well people can AFK drops. Okay. Shit. Oh, it's like that. I forgot how the thing worked. God damn it. Freaking no, lack of momentum makes this so painful. Like painfully difficult. You just move at whatever fixed speed the game lets you move at. And you can't, like, cancel the thing. It's just an old event that they're rerunning. God damn it, this shit's so annoying. Because I can't turn off the speed boost. No, I should change it to the other one. Which one's the one I can just suicide? This one. Yeah, big brain way to do the event. I have a big brain strategy for this. The strategy is so explosive, you know? It's all you gotta do is this. Easy win. Well, it counts as an entry, that's all that matters. And just only do that one. Right? I call it Plan K A B O O M. Kaboom. Except the kaboom is me going kaboom and just losing instantly. Because the only thing that matters is participation. So what's the fastest way to participate 10 times? Alright, the fastest way to participate 10 times. Just go in, lose. Go in, lose again. Big brain. Right? Super big brain. Because sometimes losing on purpose is faster than actually trying to win. Sometimes. It's not unnecessary. There are uses for that. Just not for you. But like, yes, there are uses. If you're working with stuff in large enough data sets that need to be stored in VRAM, there's a big use for that. Especially if you're connecting a bunch of stuff together as well. You do know, like, those video walls use an insane amount of VRAM to, like, that you see for, like, digital signage, like, you know, like, when you see, like, just hanging off the sides of buildings, those giant, like, walls with all the animation and stuff on there? Do you ever wonder, like, what it takes to drive one of those? Because, if you've ever actually seen, what it takes, they also need an ungodly amount of VRAM to, like, actually drive. And they have multiple graphics cards handling that. And then they have, like, a separate graphics card to just synchronize all of the graphics cards so they can, like, you know, properly, organize and assemble whatever is being displayed on those video walls. Yeah. That one is probably for AI workloads. It's just that, like, there's, like, tiered VRAM stuff that you can do as well. For certain things, like, if you're making, like, let's say, there are other use cases too. Let's say you're, like, a movie studio or whatever. doing a very, very large scale production and you want to store like a large chunk of the timeline or whatever while working on it in like a render farm in VRAM, there is a use case for that too, because once the data has to pull from anywhere else, it slows down like crazy. But the main reason for that one though is probably AI stuff. It's probably AI stuff for that, the main reason. Like, let's be real. It's probably for AI. Yeah, I'll get those other missions done after. Let's grab this.
Next time, maybe I'll help you pick out something useful too.
Is there another easy mission we can do? Alright, because we'll do the story later. Guess not. Those are not available yet. Yes. But, like, there are things that can get even crazier with, like, how you use it, man. But, like, for AI stuff, like, you need insane amounts of it, man. If you're, like, running a local LLM. Keep in mind, back when, like, multi-GPU stuff was a thing, too, the way they worked is they had to share VRAM. Or not share it, but they had to copy VRAM across. Like, a fun fact, let's say you had, what's it called? 2 graphics cards in SLI back then. Let's say you had a regular GTX 780 and a GTX 780 6GB. If you were to use both of them in SLI, how much VRAM would you have? It's a trick question. But take a guess. How much VRAM would you have if you were running that setup? No, like, actually. Like, back when, like, we had multi-GPU stuff back in the day. Like, back when SLI and Crossfire were, like, actually a thing. How much VRAM do you think you would have if, let's say, you had a GTX 780 with 3GB of VRAM and a GTX 780 6GB model? How much VRAM could you actually use? It's a trick question, but I wonder if you can figure out the answer. One has 3GB, the other one has 6GB, and you're using both in SLI. So how much VRAM could you actually use? Just take a guess. Did they release any new furniture? You would have 3GB of VRAM, despite one having 6 and the other one having only 3. You wouldn't get both of them added. You would just have 3. You would have the lower capacity one. Because they would have to mirror the data between both of them. And one of them can only has access to 3, while the other one has access to 6, but it doesn't matter. That's just how it would work. Crossfire was the same on the AMD side. Alright, let's get all her furniture. Guess she's no longer homeless. Alright, now she has a room here, no longer homeless Mia. And it crashed. Nice. Nice job, game. They crashed as soon as I put the thing in there.
The adjutant's here. Quietly now.
Where is she? Oh, she's all the way over there. Go behind me.
Morning, adjutant. So, what fun are we having today?
Alright, she has her mini fridge there.
Morning, adjutant.
Alright, now she has slippers there.
So, what fun are we having today?
Now she has her memo board.
Morning, adjutant. Morning, adjutant. Morning, adjutant.
She has a small kitchen here. Well, not really much of a kitchen though. I'll give her the rest. Yes, I know, she said good morning.
Morning, adjutant.
She is trained. Oh boy.
So, what fun are we having today?
No. No, they're just looking at a picture. Okay. And then another picture. Okay, it's just looping the same thing. Hi, Uxum. Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, I forgot to claim the other thing from her. Now she's asleep.
Adjutant.
Alright, so now she's no longer homeless. Right, she's not homeless anymore. Alright, can we claim a thing? Yes, we can. This is quite fun. The thing was just shaking at the start there. Okay. Let's get the new boo-boo. Chaos damage on her. No, that's contact. Alright, first pull, crap. Second pull. Also crap. Lots of guns though, good for garbage day. Can use all those guns and unload them on garbage day. But that's also crap. That one's also junk. No. What the fuck? No, I said useless crap. Yeah, at least you can use it on garbage day, all these guns. Alright, next one. Damn, we're really gonna go all the way. Oh yeah, yes, Boo Boo. Alright, we got it. I said let's go get Boo Boo. What the hell's Lil Boo Boo? No. The character is thing. Here we go.
健康転戦競泳万象ブブってすごいでしょ
There we go.
ヘイムダル部隊リフベ
Okay. Let's just dump those over there. You don't exactly have enough to pull the weapon. Hi there, Nasi Goreng. Welcome. Early today. Yeah, but obviously we don't have enough. We'll get the weapon later. Alright, we'll deal with getting the weapon later. Why does the thing have to like keep flowing there? Kinda annoying. No, not now. No, so like after this thing, right? The plan is gonna be a shorter stream for the earlier section. I'll then have it like rerun on a loop for a couple of hours, and then I'll be back later tonight. I'll probably do other stuff later tonight as well. But yeah, for like people that AFK drops or whatever. Alright, let's go level her up and mess around with her. Because I need to get some other stuff done later. In a couple of hours. Yeah, we'll have to figure out what the hell she does. Let's get her manifestations, not manifestation, neuronics up. Yeah, I saw it. Alright. Alright. Able to move between realms, whatever. Physical spectacular. Dealing chaos damage when she's in spectacular realm. Crit damage increases chaos damage by that much. Okay. Again, it's just another attack alignment index unit. Like everyone else. Is there everyone's a fucking attack alignment index unit at this point? Like everyone is. Yes. It's extremely painful and boring to go through, man. I didn't even finish it. It's just pain. Like, the pacing and everything is just really bad. It's an actual downgrade over the first beta. it's worse than the previous beta. I mean, the problem is like, it has the same problems I see in a lot of these freaking Chinese games, man. In terms of story writing and pacing. But also, it's just way too intrusive and like it gets in the way of everything. Yeah, and like it's not even good walls of text. It's just like the bad kind of walls of text. They're the bad kind, not the good kind. It's basically a good example of how not to handle walls of text. It's the bad kind of walls of text. Like, I can handle my fair share of walls of text, but like...
Next time, maybe I'll
depending on how they handle it, and like how this stuff is paced and everything... no thanks. You know? That's kinda how it is for me. But yeah. Like, pretty much is like, unless there's like another, like, NT somehow doesn't have the same problem. But part of it, like, feels like, with the reason why, like, a lot of these games end up having, like, really, really bad one, like, pacing and, like, the way it's, like, written. I get the feeling that, like, it's mostly from, like, a lot of the larger companies, too. They probably have some retarded fat cat in a suit or whatever in there, and they're, like, making the writers or whatever hit word count quotas to unnecessarily draw everything out. And it just becomes way too invasive and too intrusive, man. That's like how it feels like. Right? Like, it's really bad. It's not like long because it needs to be. In the word count quota, exactly. It's like, what, if you got like an elementary school or maybe like a third or a fourth grader, you told them they had to write like something that's like X amount of words long or whatever, and then they discovered what a thesaurus is. So they're like doing whatever they can to like drag it out for as unnecessarily long as possible, just so they can meet the requirements there. And it's like everything suffers because of it.
Next time, maybe I'll help you pick out something useful too.
Okay, increase ballistic damage by that after using standard skill. Right, she can only use dual SMG, so it's like literally only that one or her signature. Or her 5-star weapon or whatever. Okay. I mean, it's like what? You know, they like to do the exact opposite of a picture is worth 1,000 words. Instead of being like a picture is worth 1,000 words, we'll take away the picture and give you the 1,000 words. I hate it, man. Like, they need to stop. Alright. Like, they have like a weird obsession with doing that. And like, it has to stop, man. It's so bad. Alright, let's save that one there. What's just usable enough? I'll put that there for now. That's like usable, not great, but usable. And then I'll just put another one here. Stats on that are crap, but I'm out of stamina. So I'll just put that there for now. I'll get her better stuff later. Alright, she can have that for now. It's not really the ToF is the black screen thing, but like the actual pacing in there isn't really that a problem. The black screen white text is its own other thing, but like it doesn't suffer the same problems. It's more so just like the other stuff there. Which I'd rather have this the other stuff instead. But yeah, I don't know why she's not like voiced. Boo Boo doesn't have voice for her thing there. Like, it's just weird. Why don't they have her voice yet? Okay. I'd rather scuff than like something that makes me actively want to shoot myself when I go through it. Yeah. Because like there's scuff and then there's just the story being really bad and just being overly drawn out and then just relying entirely on flashy hype moments and nothing more. And that's pretty much where a lot of these end up falling into. They rely too much on that like if you ask someone like about everything else and just like what actually went down, they wouldn't be able to actually answer you properly. Because all they saw was, ooh, flashy cutscene, and then they ignore everything else. It's not just a Woo problem. It's like the thing I've noticed in like all of these games. It's like mostly a problem with the Chinese ones. Like I haven't noticed it with the freaking the few times I played a Japanese one or a Korean one. I haven't noticed that issue. It's for some reason just like a trend I see in all the Chinese ones. So like yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like my experience from EnVtuber is like I'd rather have no story at all than what the hell is going on in EnVtuber. I'd rather have none at all. Because then I could maybe play what little game they have. Too bad everything does whatever it can to stop you from doing the factory. Alright, let's see. Get that on her. So we pulled the new Boo Boo. Let me just switch it for Boo Boo. Man, this sorting here is like ass. How the hell am I supposed to sort this nicely? It's like Finder. Ah, here. Physics. Yeah. Yeah, she's not voicing English. Wait. There you go, now you can get your jiggle. Alright.
鏡に映るブブがどれだけ違った姿をしていても分析員に見せるのはありのままのブブだけだよ
Lots of jiggle there.
すべてがうまくいく方法を占ってあげるねブブから離れなければうまくいくよ
Alright, lots of jiggle. Oh yeah, we should go mess around in Paradoxical Labyrinth. The Jello breast, yeah. Wait, we got Shadow Raid mode? Wait, what? Wait, is this permanent? Wait, Shadow Raid mode is permanent now? And they're just gonna slowly add buffs to this? Okay, that's neat. Does Boo Boo have buffs here? Maybe we'll actually get to see her buffs early. I don't think I see him. No, she does not have it here yet. Alright, we'll just do standard mode. New Boo Boo. We'll put her in there. Okay. Sure, we'll just run these. You can put a little bit of buffs here.
異常なし新装備との相性よしあとは私に任せてよし ブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。この汚れめ、本当のマジックを見せてあげる。頑張って逃がさない。あなたにもブブは大丈夫だから集中して。なんて言ったってヘイムダルだから。
Alright, let's see. So you can now like pick some buffs to start with. So that's neat.
ブブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。逃がさない。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。まだまだ修行足りないみたい。分析員、ブブの活躍すごかったでしょ。
Alright, we'll go in the next room.
異常なし。新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。
Yeah, I do wonder though when Boo Boo will get her
分析員の
voice,
役に立てて嬉し
her
いよ。
English voice
この汚れ
for
め、
gameplay.
ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。分析員、ブブまだまだ修行。くらえ。まだまだ修行足りないみたい。くらえ。板書入居。諸悪滅上。滅。この汚れめ。
Alright, let's see. I'll just have a random one there. Not like I'm gonna use any of those.
異常なし。
Oh, wrong button.
全部燃やすんだ。餅は餅や。ふふまたミスっちゃった。ごめんなさい。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。頑張ってくらえ。楽勝だったね。頑張って重複。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。逃がさない。
You can get the damage out twice. On to the next room.
ブブ分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。逃がさない。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。くらえ。重複商材だね。くらえ。楽勝だったね。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。
Alright, let's see. On to the next room.
異常なし。新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。くらえ。
Alright, let's take a battle supply.
ブブ、分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。異常なし、新装備との相性よし、あとは私に任せてよし。このガンガブブは大丈夫だから集中して。あなたにもラッキー。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。ブブは災いを服に。
Alright, let's see. Oh, we can at least move faster between rooms now.
異常なし、新装備との相性よし、あとは私に任せてよし。あなたにもブブは大丈夫だから集中して。魔力食らえ、逃がさない。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。頑張って。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。シャドウドライブ。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。シャドウドライブ。災いを服に。
Oh, that's how you're supposed to play her. Okay. Now I understand. I was playing her wrong earlier. Okay, that makes sense.
異常なし、新装備との相性よし、あとは私に任せてよし。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。
Alright, let's see.
ブブ、分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。魔力注入。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。この汚れめ。魔力注。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。重複商材だね、食らえ。ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。
Alright, let's see.
Final stop.
Yeah, let's try it on that boss.
異常なし、新装備との相性よし、あとは私に任せてよし。この毛、あなたにもラッキー。
Yeah, we got a trigger also in Gigalink. Alright, let's see what buffs we get.
異常なし。新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。
I get it. Welcome, welcome. Alright. Alright, let's see. Okay. Okay then. Is that on here? And they're done. Alright, let's see. Give her yin yang. Am I gonna get to like a shop? And dead. I swear, they need to give me like a shop to like dump all the currency that we accumulated. Alright, let's see. Time for the ornament exchange.
ブブ、分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。
Alright. Boss time. This is way too overkill for the boss.
異常なし。新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。この汚れ魔力ブブは大丈夫だから集中して。
Yeah. And she's like not good at AoE, but very good at single target. Oh, what's this? Oh, so I guess you can like put more buffs now in a run. Okay. And then these things will like rotate on like what you can start with. Cool. Do they not have any interactive scene for any of these guys? Can that thing stop glowing? Wait, what is this? Bruh. They're straight up just selling these things here now? Okay. Sure. Don't know why. But okay. I'll try in a Gigalink shortly. Yeah, if I go through this, maybe I'll have enough for thing. What else is here? Yeah, that's the standard weapon banner thing. Oh. Okay, that's the new button there. I don't remember that being there before. Not like I need Opal vouchers. I have like way more than I'll ever need. Yeah, let's test her out here. Alright. Come on. Is it like really that edge that like nobody is coming in for the last slot? Is it like actually that edge? Goddamn, game not alive. Game is not alive. Alright. Burning effect. Alright, let's keep going. Damn it, freaking Shenjing's killing things before I can hit them. And I have 69 ammo. Alright, let's see. Mark of Sunder. Yeah, those don't really matter. Okay. Surely one day they'll actually add more here. Surely. Right, because like I have all of that done. Like they updated like the thing to get more buffs. And they put this thing as permanent Shadow Raid. Surely they'll update more of it after. Right, surely. Wait, why is like world chat so dead? The game not alive? Why is the chat dead? Right, like why is the chat there so dead? Yeah, like nothing there. Mm-hmm. Okay, one sec. I think they posted something with the thing. Let me check something real quick. I think, do they have like a... Oh yeah, they posted another trailer here. I need to like actually slowly get to eating my breakfast. Let me pull it up. And then we can look at it real quick. Alright, give me a sec. Yeah, we have a Boo Boo trailer here.
Adjutant, I wanna do that thing with you.
Why is she voiced here but not in game,
As we
man?
say in Shuosho, food is everything. To make a good meal, you gotta prep the ingredients first. Adjutant, come knead the dough.
Okay.
Add water to the dough, then knead it evenly.
Bro.
Keep it moist and soft. In the collisions of the dough, sparks fly. Amazing. Adjutant, get ready. Boo Boo, the magic chef is here. Ta-da! Next, we need to whip the eggs.
Okay.
Move your whisk up and down. Evenly.
What the heck? So fun.
Now for the final dish. Stir-fried carrot and Boo Boo. Loving someone means eating lots and
Like a
lots
bra.
of meals together. Come cook with me again soon, Adjutant. Mwah.
Okay then. That was something. Too bad is they don't have the English in game. It's so spicy they had to censor the actual dough. It's in the trailer, it's a cute comedy short film. Okay. They're getting more and more creative. The bread needs more clones now. Yep. It is definitely something. Alright. They made a Boo Boo watching this. Okay, Boo Boo is very hungry. Yeah, this is definitely something. Even looter than Shokugeki no Soba. Well, that's something. They left the week for a couple. They left the game for a couple of weeks, and they come back to this. What the fuck happened? Improvement happened. Well, to stay barely alive, they turned into the most down bad gooner game imaginable. It saved them from EOS, but it did not lead to much success. At least not as much as you would think. It makes it impossible to take your game seriously at all. Yeah, the humble existence of the quarter, the gotcha space. Is it funny? It's funny, isn't it? You'd think going all down bad would be an easy way to print money. I guess the mid-tier gameplay story drag it down. Okay. Yeah. It is funny. It is quite funny there. Alright. Alright then. Where's the thing here? What I wanted to do. No, I didn't want to spend that. I don't have the stamina for that. Alright, dispatch. Neural sim. Wait, no, we can't do that yet. Alright, let's get this stuff done.
Keep up, or you won't be able to see my charming figure. Don't you worry, Professor Pre-Show won't lag behind. My bullets are faster than even my turbo.
Alright, and the next one.
Don't you worry, Professor Pre-Show won't lag behind.
My memories. Objective complete. Precisely as the simulation dictated. Once the bow is drawn, there is no retreat. Adjutant, I am prepared.
We have this one. Okay. On to the next thing.
I'll stay close to you, Adjutant. Excuse me, coming through. I won't wander off this time. Stay calm, Cirrus. You can do this.
Put that there. On to the next room.
I won't
Yeah,
wander
surely
off
after this we can do another 10 pull for the weapon. To try to get it for Boo Boo.
I did it too. Objective complete. All recorded. I'll stay close to you, Adjutant. Stay calm, Cirrus. You can do this. I did it too. Excuse me, coming through.
Alright, now we go over here.
I did it too.
Right now for this one.
Don't you worry. Professor Frisho won't lag behind. Keep up, or you won't be able to see my charming figure.
Objective complete. Precisely as the simulation dictated.
Don't you worry. Professor Frisho won't lag behind.
Arrows, find your target.
Alright, they're dodge.
Are you sure I'm your best choice? Don't you worry. Professor Frisho won't lag behind.
Hardly worth our concern.
And dodge.
I can't promise anything, okay?
After the other side.
I won't wander off this time. I'll stay close to you, Adjutant. Stay calm, Cirrus. You can do this. Please, get out of my way. I did it too.
Alright, I'll sweep all these guys up.
Objective complete. All recorded.
Alright, into the next room.
I won't wander off this time.
圧倒的な火力やっ重心がまだ冷めてるっていうのに
Is it my turn now? I won't wander off this time. Stay calm, Cirrus. You can do this. I did it too. Excuse me. Coming through.
Alright, we just group them together and then
Objective complete.
dodge.
All recorded.
Alright, next one. Mm-hmm.
Keep up, or you won't be able to see my charming figure. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Professor Frisho won't lag my bullets are faster than even my turbo. Don't you worry. Professor Frisho won't lag behind. It's like they don't even calculate their odds of success.
Then we nuke these ones down.
Time for, is anybody hurt?
Alright, next room.
Don't you worry. Professor Frisho won't lag behind.
Oh, those like icons on some are new. I guess you can like see the enemy casting their stuff now. That's like a nice little new indicator that they got there
I'll stay close to you.
that they didn't have before.
I won't wander off this time.
Alright, we'll clear this stuff here.
Here's me, coming through.
よく聞きなさい。弾丸の強制休憩？冗談。続けるわ。本当は待ちきれないのはこっちなのよ。さっさと終わらせましょう。
Right, into the next room.
I'll stay close to you, Adjutant. I did it too. Here's me, coming through. That was a close one. I won't wander off this time. Stay calm, Cirrus. You can do this. I won't feel lost anymore.
圧倒的な狩り。穴を開けてやるわ。重心がまだ冷めてるっていうの。
Alright. That's cleared. And then we got another one. Mm-hmm.
Don't you worry. Professor Frisha won't lag behind.
Okay, I'm back. I don't know what freaking crashed my PC. Apparently Snowbreak also did a mini patch update. So let me get that out of the way. And then we can get on in. Mm-hmm. Alright. But yeah, there was like a weird crash thing. I don't know what happened. It knocked it out. But it's back. Alright, let's go finish the Jonan Tunnel thing. And then we'll have to get the other stuff sorted out. Okay.
来たのね外さん
Right, so we actually have enough to do a temple. But let me finish Jonan Tunnel first. Alright, who knows? Maybe we can get the weapon early, but I doubt it. And then there's like that random box we have to open as well.
Don't you worry. Professor Frisha won't lag behind.
So let's go get that done.
Don't you worry. Professor Frisha won't lag behind. My bullets are faster than even my turbo.
Your defeat was never in.
I can't promise anything, okay?
Alright, into the next room.
Don't you worry.
What do we got here?
Professor Frisha won't lag behind.
Alright, I'm gonna need to adjust the volume.
Keep up, or you won't
Okay.
be able to see my charming figure.
Alright, there's something I wanted to double check. So I can claim the drops. Oh damn, top drops end soon. Okay. I'll have to make sure to set stuff up so people can get like last minute top drops later. Right, is it the top drops in on the 21st?
The battlefield is my
Just
control.
noticed.
Inconsequential. Your defeat was never in question.
Okay. Got that. Onto the other side of this.
I'll stay close to you, Adjutant.
Okay. We'll grab the stuff here.
Not this time. Stay calm, Cirrus. You can do this. I did it too. Please get out of my way. Objective complete. All recorded.
Now into the next room.
I'll stay close to you, Adjutant.
Okay. Oh, it's this thing.
よく聞きなさい。弾丸こんなかすり傷ぐらいで。休憩？冗談。
Is it my turn now?
Now into the last room here.
I'll stay close to you,
Mhm.
Adjutant. I did it.
よくきありったけ。それが全力なの？
Okay. Got that done. Let's see. I guess the drops did not get sent through yet. Because I don't just think I'd have to like relink my thing to get the drops. Because I haven't had to relink it in like a long time. Alright, let's see. Another 10 pull here. Can I get it? No, I cannot. Rip. Rip. Oh, we'll get it later in the patch. Where was the thing? And I get Yao. Where is she? Okay. Now I have M4 on Yao. Eventually she'll be M5 from all the things. Right now she is M4. Wait, how close are some of the things to that? Yeah. Damn. Racial Hush is almost at M5. That's crazy. Oh, there's a mag there now. I guess because I didn't have a mag that I could put there before. And now I do. Interesting. Yeah, I guess the game chat is like dead right now. Just dead. Right, one sec. Okay, there was like nothing there. I was like trying to check to see if there was something. Okay. Okay, nothing there. Oh yeah, we have the story here. How long is this one? We'll do the story later on stream. Because that one I think has like a bit of length to it. Not as long as some of the other stories before, but there's definitely some length to it. So we'll have it do the thing there. But yeah. Yeah, I have to like do stuff IRL in like an hour. So I won't do it now, I'll do it later today on stream. But yeah. Because like in a bit I'm just gonna have it loop the earlier segment so people can AFK drops, and then I'll do story later when I get back. Because I have to do stuff for a couple of hours. Oh yeah, we messed around a little bit with Boo Boo. She seems good for like single target damage. Like actually pretty good for single target. What was this thing weak to? Okay. So I guess that thing's like the resistance or whatever, and then the other stuff there. Is that how it works? Obtains 25% kinetic resistance. Increase chaos and electrical damage. You know, let's try her here. Even though I only have the base purple weapon right now. We'll eventually get her other weapon later. I could probably use Starshine to like jack up her damage a bit. Yeah, let's go with this.
ブブ、分析員の期待は絶対裏切らないもん。くらえ。くらえ。人魚。かい。
Wait, really?
ロードライブ。ブブは大丈夫だから。集中して。シャドウドライブ。I've got you. Don't slow me down, okay? まだまだ修行足りないみたい。くらえ。シャドウドライブ。Don't slow me down, okay? 諸悪滅上。滅。くらえ。
Oh, so like when she uses her skill from her ult thing, it does count as a ballistic hit. That's cool. So like you can use the Fenny there. Right, you can use Starshine Fenny. Because like my Fenny Starshine is M5. Because at one point I thought like using the personal files on her would be good. So like, yeah. No, this one does kinetic damage though. I don't know about that. Like you get the other part, but then you lose the big 30%. I guess it's probably better than the other weapon she's on though. Normally I'm like touching grass right now, and I'm gonna have to leave to touch grass in a bit. Right. So like I'm gonna put it on loop for like AFK drops so people can get a head start. No. Oh, wait, it's not even grass anymore, it's snow. What am I talking about? I have to go touch snow. Yeah, that's more accurate. I have to go touch snow in a bit. In about like an hour, I need to get ready to go touch snow. So it's like an earlier, shorter segment here. We got the new character. We messed around. Didn't touch the story yet. We'll do that later tonight. Right. We might like just go and do some of my reacts or whatever now. Go through my react backlog because it's like it's large enough. Like the thing that got built up that I should just slowly go through it. Right. So we'll probably do that. Because like there's not much else to do right now other than do story, I think. Well, yeah, it's been snowing for a while. It's been snowing for the past couple of weeks. Oh yeah, there's this thing I have to do this mode. The let's optimize Heimdall mode. Right now, we just wait. Surely game is alive enough, right? I don't think it is. Right, because like the world chat even is dead for some reason.
Adjutant, don't get assimilated by the hams.
No, you gotta eat the hams instead. Wait, I didn't get to pick a gun.
Three, two, one. Gear up. Test sequence initiated. Go take down the hams or risk a system-wide wipe. Just kidding. Bam! Boot drop. Grab it fast.
God damn it.
Warning.
Ah, I'm dead.
All heroes, you've been assimilated by a ham.
Okay, I need to get up there. Her.
Bam! Boot drop. Grab it fast. Run complete. Test executed perfectly. You are such a dashing villain.
Okay. I got one of the things there. Yeah, eventually gotta get all the missions there done for the Heimdall thingy. Let's optimize it. Or whatever. Okay. I guess we can do like some of the reacts or whatever now. And then I'll have to get like stuff set up so we can loop later. I think we'll do that then. Because like there's not really anything else to do right now outside of the story. Because everything else is just not available. Right, because we did like all the other stuff. You grinded the whole hot spring furniture? Really? You got all of it now? Wait. Where did you get like the hot spring furniture again? It's been like so long. I forget like what you had to do for it. Oh, splash roulette? Oh right. This thing. Yeah, it's been so long. Yeah, I grinded this thing down like a long time ago. I got all this stuff here a long time ago. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about it because it's been like so long. It's been so long since I did this stuff there. Right, but I got this stuff like done everywhere. Alright, like all the maps that have everything. It is funny though, like just how limited the amount of characters that will go here though are. It's not even all the characters with a swimsuit, only some of the ones with a swimsuit can come here. Which is kind of funny and weird when you think about it. Yes, I've been playing on the Warp server. I have been. Actually, I can pull it up right now. One sec. Alright, I'm gonna let the thing, like, do stuff there later. Here, let me pull it up. Give me a sec. I already have all the weapons on the Warp server. I got all of them yesterday. I mean, I got the last one I needed yesterday. Because I've just been slowly, like, grinding through everything. I should check my auto explorer, though. Here, let me pull it up, and then we'll do some reacts for a bit before I head out, but then I'll just leave the stream in there to let people AFK farm for drops. I'll have it replay the segments from earlier. I'll have it do that.
The deep space is right at.
Alright. Oh yeah, I was like grabbing stuff in this area. Just slowly grab everything from AFK. Auto explore here. Lots of materials. Give me more of them. Okay, cool. At least auto exploring stuff is putting in work so I can slowly get all the mats. But yeah, like I have all my gear leveled up to the current cap. Until like there's more stuff later. Yeah. Alright, like I should achievement farm so I can get the last bit of endurance there to get 1,000 instead of 950. But yeah. I've been slowly going through stuff in here. Because crit rate percent stat, it's weird. So here's the thing, man, on Warp server. All you can do as a whale is buy these mats with Tanium. Or you can go here and pull on cosmetics. Whatever cosmetic they're featuring. This is all you can do as a whale. Here's the thing. All those materials can be sold and bought with the tradable dark crystals with other players. So like a lot of that stuff is just over here. So like that's the thing, right? Basically, you can buy this stuff from other players here. People can farm the items and they can sell it. So like the reality is the whaling in this game is no different from like whaling in like other looter shooters, where you're just paying for speeding up progress, or you're paying you're paying for convenience. Most of the stuff in there is like tied to the player economy. So like the reality is it's like as long as like you've been working on your stuff and like getting your gear in a good spot, you're going to be doing about as much as everyone else. And eventually you can get caught up with everyone else anyways. Because that's how the game here is set up on the Warp server. Like it's pretty much set up that way. Right. Like you can pay to speed things up a bit by just buying a bunch of mats, but that's it. Like everyone else can also farm the currency and then they can go buy, sell, and trade with each other. There's like an actual economy in there. It's like no more pay to win than like let's say World of Warcraft and you buying gold. It's about as pay to win as someone buying gold in World of Warcraft. Or some other MMO that does the same thing. That's basically the level of pay to win here. It's about the same as that. Which in reality is, it's just like you can pay to speed up progress by a bit earlier on, and then that's it. Like, you don't really have an advantage over everyone else. Because at some point, everyone else will get to the same spot. Same time too, right? Like, you have these packs where you can buy a bunch of these ore and stuff like that, but like, this stuff is... it doesn't matter. Because the reality is... as long as you're in multiplayer, you can infinitely farm this even without Vitality. All Vitality does is basically like those items that would give you boosted drop rates on the gacha server. That's all it does. But you can just keep spamming and farming with no Vitality and you'll still get loot every single time. It's the same thing for the raid stuff for the other dust. You can just keep spamming it and like what people did is like... no. You're not late to the party. Because like the level cap and everything is slowly being raised, you're not really that far behind outside of, you don't have all the weapons yet. Because the way it works is you get one weapon a day, and then eventually you'll just have all of the weapons, all 47. These last two are not available. You start off with 6, and then you get, after you get to the part of the story where where you would normally do the gacha pull, you would get 1. And then you can farm a bunch of world bosses, so you can find people like farming world bosses like crazy. And you can basically farm the shards, 50 shards to get 50 shards where you need 100 to go pull another weapon. And you can just do that. Right, you would just slowly get one every day from logging in. The reality is like, the way level cap is being raised and everything now is pretty slow. Oh no, people are killing world bosses like crazy, so they also changed how world bosses work here. Because now, if you want to farm relic shards, you have to farm world bosses. Also, they drop other materials as well to upgrade your stuff, but like... relic shards drop off of world bosses. Each one has a specific relic shard. Everyone loves to farm Colton especially. Because the space-time rift shards. But like, you can always find them. Some cases you'll find like a boss is extinct on all 50 channels. You'd have like 50 channels and like they'd all be extinct. For some of the bosses that people are really into farming at the moment. But yeah. You're going to easily find groups of people doing that. Again, like you can just tag them and then you can loot or you can just loot the chest afterwards, just like it is on the gacha server. Right, boss dies, you can loot the chests. People are always farming them. And of course, you get to have like everything here. Yeah, you're not gonna face any of those problems. And it's like even on the gacha server, you'll like, technically speaking, you'll always find like a lot of the world bosses are extinct because there's some people farming for cosmetics on the regular server. Because like one of the other ways you can make currency as well, killing those world bosses, you can get like these cosmetic drops, and again you can sell them. But what it actually normally does from the world bosses instead, it goes into like an auction here. You have your personal auction where you can bid on the item, and then if you don't bid on it, it goes into world auction at the end of the day, or the next day if you got it later, you opened it later in the day, and then other players can buy it, and if someone else buys it, you get the currency. Like the game is set up that way to like try to encourage an economy at every step. Again, like, and then they changed some of the stuff in there, so like they made it things into like different professions here. I just took both of the crafting professions because I'm lazy, but also because I'm lazy, it's one of the easiest way to get one of the ores that you farm from join ops. Because I'm lazy. The other professions can make you more money, but I'm lazy. But yeah. And of course, just like in the regular server, if your level is too lower compared to the cap, you get a massive EXP boost. Okay, cool. I hit the thing there. And of course, there's this stuff here. What's also nice here is if you don't get everything in here, there is like a catch-up thing to buy the stuff later. But like, again, like everything that you can use for progression can be bought, sold, and traded with other players. Everything. Right, even like the materials to go level up all your weapons and stuff. But yeah. Now what I've also found that's like pretty convenient for me when like just trying to like run around and complete stuff off the map. Like the supply pods and stuff are there, but like they change the stuff you get from exploration rewards. Yeah, it's a nice boost for progression. Right, it's a pretty big boost. And then also if you do content with your mentor, you get a stat boost. Yeah. At the same time though, like when you do content with your mentor, it's like a 4% damage boost. So like, technically speaking, I can imagine if you're like you really wanted to min max or whatever, you would be doing content with one of your mentors. Because both the mentor and the mentee gets a stat boost. It's like 4% attack. When it's like maxed. Which is interesting. I imagine like some of the sweatier guilds out there will try to do that. Like I can imagine like this, like the super sweaty guilds will like try to like take advantage of that and min-max for that stuff for content later on in the future. They'll like just like take turns on like getting leveled up or whatever, so they can spread around the mentor buffs or whatever like that. Because each player can get 3 mentors or be 3 mentees at the same time. The mentor stuff, to be a mentor, that's unlocked at level 60, but... Also, pro tip, if you're doing exploration and you're too weak to like deal with stuff that's high level, use Yanuo's weapon. If you hold dodge, you'll enter stealth, and enemies will just leave you alone. Oh, that's a nice little tip there. if you want to like use a weapon preset just for exploration stuff, very handy. Right. Like what I personally use like on one of my weapon presets for exploration, Yanuo, Antoria, and thing. Oh, I leveled up, level 61. But yeah, like it's just handy. The level cap is slowly gonna get raised over time as well. So like the reality is, even if you start now, you won't be that far behind everyone else, because the current level cap won't get to like the next big breakpoint for like a week or so. It's like one every like 2 days or something now. So right now level cap is 61. Right, this level cap is just slowly getting raised. Right. But it's not like anything is unlocked at level 61. The next set of raids is unlocked at level 62, but the way the raids work, you know, it doesn't matter if you're like clearing the lower difficulty, because you can always farm the higher difficulty later when you unlock it. Because again, unlike the gacha server, everything can be infinitely farmed. It's just that it's less efficient after you go through your initial boosted drops every week. But everything can be infinitely farmed, meaning that you can always get caught up later on down the road. Right, so like, hey, you don't have to really rush everything. Right, because like this stuff is not going away. No, you cannot. You need all 8 players for that. You're not gonna unlock levels that are, for a while, but here's the thing too. There are always people farming the raids, because again, you can infinitely farm them. And the way you level up gear now is this. The only way to level up your gear is you have to farm duplicate pieces, and then you have to destroy them to get dust. And then you can take the dust to level up your gear. Yeah, they'll one-shot you, man. Unless you're playing tank. But even then, even when you're a tank, if you're not being, like, kept alive by a healer, you're gonna die, like, pretty quickly. Right, and again, like, everyone will eventually have access to everything. But of course, for the first while, it's not like you can build everything regardless of your free-to-play or whale. Whales can just progress a little bit faster because they'll have the disposable currency to just buy from other players. Because there's always going to be players that will just want to sell their mats instead. Because they're playing for different reasons, right? Because, like, again, like, all the cosmetics and stuff are also farmable. Heck, the car mounts you can even farm in-game. I mean, like, again, like, once you eventually get caught up, you'll actually do damage. Right? Like, eventually, once your gear and stuff is in place, because gear is more important. But you get that just by playing the game. Some people have just farmed more mats than you did, and they have, like, higher stats. So they're gonna just do more damage. Okay, AFK Explorer does not get supply drops, or supply pods, but I'll get like a bunch of other stuff. Oh, nice. The event was cool back then. We even had like this mecha battle thing. When that happened. When he had the collab. I do hope that they eventually do bring Asuka and Rei to warp servers for like to be obtainable for the people who weren't there for the original collab. Because like the only way to get them is like if you had them before and then do the transfer when those open up. That's the only way to get Asuka and Rei at the moment. Meaning when the only thing like you won't have access to when transfers come is Asuka and Rei. Hopefully like they figure out a way that they can like get them like permanently available for players. Like I figure they could like probably like work out some way to make it permanently available. Maybe like they can make it so like you'll get the weapon but you can't get the simulacra if you don't get the you don't buy the thing separately and they just sell it in the shop. The actual simulacra skin. For them. I feel like they could probably do that for like licensing or something, but like that'll be something they have to figure out. Because like it's forever gonna be something that like some players just will not have access to if they don't figure out a way to deal with it. Oh, I have to charge the battery. That was like the one annoying thing about network exploration, gotta charge the battery. She's not available yet. She'll probably be added in Season 2. There's a lot of weapons that are not available in Season, that will not be available in Season 1, but they will be added in Season 2. Season 2 is gonna be in April. So Veronica won't be there for a while. Like another 5 months, 5.5 months, before Veronica becomes playable. That's it. Let me pull up the test client. Because there's like other stuff that's like even more interesting there. Oh, that'll also be available later. Yeah. Besides, like, there's all sorts of stuff right there already. Right, and then like, the other day we were on the test server for a bit. There's even cooler stuff coming later on down the line. Because, like, again, like, not everything's available yet. Right, because all of them, like, play differently and they have their own different functionality and stuff. And there's even more coming down later. Alright, here, let me pull up the thing on the test server.
The deep space
The advanced
is
server.
right ahead.
Oh, you got Claudia? The other version of Claudia? Right, because like this is the upcoming unit on the Gotcha server. You freaking get Gravity Rush gameplay. Like actual Gravity Rush gameplay. Like actually. Yeah, the sound stuff not available yet. This is just early preview thing. Like I can actually like, mess around with gravity. With this one. Yeah, sound effects are not in here yet. Yeah, this is the upcoming unit for the Gotcha server. At the end of the month. Like actual Gravity Rush gameplay. You can like hold dodge and you can like change gravity. Wait, why am I moving? Here. Yeah, it's actually pretty sick. It's like, yeah, you can technically use it to fly around, but you're not actually flying, you're just falling. Yeah, power creep mobility. You're not actually flying, you're falling. I mean, Gotcha server, obviously, the newer stuff always strong. Wait, now that they gave... Why'd they wait until now to give Ventoria? That's so weird. I already have Ventoria, though. But yeah, we were, like, messing around with her in the stream from the other day for Global. A lot of this stuff isn't fully translated yet. Again, this is just, like, early stuff in there, but yeah. Right, some of the stuff that's obviously missing from Warp server, right? You got Veronica.
The next conquest calls.
I was just about to come.
Right, there's this thing, this guy. Right, like the 3 newest, obviously not there yet. And then what else is not there? We don't have, Nanyan is not there. Ling Han is not there.
Justice and echoes the wielder's heart.
Fiona is not there.
Think before you.
Right, she's not there. Icarus is not there.
I like the vitality in all things that flourish.
Annabella is not there, the sniper one. Who else is missing? And the only other ones missing are like, you got Annie's missing, Echo is missing, Pepper is missing, and Hilda's missing, and Bailing.
Forward to my performance.
Everyone else is there. It's just those few are not available on the Warp server. Oh wait, no, Yulon is also missing.
Like this looks better. Master you said standing like this looks better.
Right, so there's a couple that are just not available yet. And probably we'll get them in season 2. There's like what, like 12 or so that are just not there. Oh wait, no, there's more than that. Yeah, 14 of them are not there. Oh, for sure. There's lots of stuff. And obviously, you know, we got like, I think this is gonna be like level 75 zone or something, or not level 75. This might be the level 80 zone, this map. This map here might be level 80, the planet Noah. Right, this is like the map that's gonna release on the other thing soon. On the Gotcha server soon. There's also apparently gonna be like world PvP here. Right, like they add a new weapon to the Gotcha server every month. Every month they add a new one, so like... by the time we get season 2, there'll be like another 20 more weapons for them to add in. Because they didn't add everything in yet. They'll have like at least 20 more that they can put in. By the time season 2 comes. That they can add into the mix. Right, because like the way the game works is like, it's just like a classless MMO. So you instead just mix and match things to suit how you want to play or whatever. Things on the Gotcha server, there's stuff like that are not the same role, right? Like, Faisa here is not Benediction here. Right? Leho doesn't even work the same. Like, a lot of things here don't work the same as they do in the Gotchas on the Warp server. A lot of them play differently. But yeah. So there's cool stuff there to look forward to later on. I think we'll just check out one more of my reacts before I have to like head out for a bit and be back later tonight. But I'll leave the thing to like loop the stuff from earlier so people can AFK drops.
I've been side hustling for
Like, this was like something we were like going to react to the other day, but we didn't get to it. So I guess I'll just put this here, and then I'm just gonna like at the same time set up the thing. Alright, because this was like sent here on the list. I opened the tab, but we didn't end up watching it. It was like somewhere here. Because like I need to get like ready to like head out and touch grass for not touch snow for a bit and get some other stuff done. But like I also wanted yeah, this is this video.
I've been side hustling for the last month and a half or so, going on 2 at this point. Food delivery, to be specific.
Okay.
It's decent money, and I've been putting in quite a few hours, so much so, actually, that it's cutting into the time I'd normally have to stream and make videos. Shout out to all my god of unemployment haters out there, by the way. Maybe y'all can also move out of your parents' basements too one day. Anyway, I've been on Twitter more frequently while I've been out there grinding, in between trips when, you know, I'm waiting for more orders to come in. So that's given me a chance to see what goes on in the mysterious, somewhat enigmatic, and half-delusional space known as Gacha Twitter. It's actually more like 3/4 delusional, but that doesn't really, you know, roll off the tongue as well. And as you might expect, I found quite a few things I could talk about and turn into videos, including that whole gameplay depth drama slash debate, whatever you want to call it, that went down between the Hoyotards and the Willicucks the other week. That
Damn.
drone on Twitter who goes by the name of, I am not shitting you,
Okay.
John Seaman, with apparently how much of Tectones he swallowed, and all
How
the
much-
reaction
yeah.
to Psyche's disastrous Duet Night Abyss review. I do want to make videos on all those topics eventually. Obviously, that's going to take me some time, so bear with me on that while I work on them. But for now, what I want to discuss here in this video is this. Why do gacha CCs not have the time or want to play more gacha? So here's the context. These are the 2 tweets that I came across while, you know, going around side hustling that got me wanting to talk about this. One by Jade Ali, not sure how to say her name, I'll just call her Jade, and 2 by Mr. Pokey. In her tweet, Jade says, feeling a bit overwhelmed with how many new exciting games are coming out. I can only play so many at once. Crying emoji, and then she lists the games that she's currently playing, the ones she's on break from, and the ones she wants to play in the future,
Okay.
and the games that are already out or not yet. The first tweet from Pokey reads, can we agree that CZN has one of the best gacha game balance in recent memory? You can literally run anyone with the right build. Tier lists are just for early game comfort, but all units have their own playstyles to get the job done.
Okay.
If I could, I'd level them all. Hail CZN. But a second one reads, I love CZN, but building units legit takes way too long. One of the main reasons
Yep.
I think this is one of the best gachas in 2025 is because of unit diversity. Any unit can work more or less as long as you give them enough investment, but you still need to build them. Sadly, I can't explore as much as I'd like because
Yeah,
a
fair
single
enough.
unit to 60 is like 1 week's worth of stamina refresh, not including the gears. For
Like
example,
for me personally, it's like I can't really handle a lot of the shit in these games because like for me personally, the actual game part itself is the most important part of the game. And when I'm not, you know, it's like that clip I would put before, right? Right, like this clip I would like to put up. Right, and like that's the problem. Like a lot of them just don't they don't really fit that, man. And a lot of them just become like log in to do chores for like 10 minutes a day. And with a lot of them too, it's not like you can play them when you want. And you're like forced on a schedule.
The game
Right.
is fun. The game.
I feel like a lot of people just forget
If
about
it's not
this.
fun, why bother? If
Right,
it's
they
not a
forget
battle,
this point.
Where's the fun? It's a test that you pass or a quest.
Quest that you fail. It's the full clip is this one, I think it was.
The game is fun. The game is a battle. If it's not fun, why bother? If it's not a battle, where's the fun? It's a test that you pass.
Oh no, this
or
is
a
like
quest that you fail.
a tribute video some guy
Race
made.
against time. Fun and battle.
But yeah, like it was from something before. I forget which thing it was. But like, uh, but like you get the idea. He is very right. But it's something that like people forget all the time, man. And it's like part of the reason why like I can't handle playing like a lot of the things in there, cause when you get down to it, the game part is the problem. Like it's just there's too many things in the way, especially with a lot of the live service ones that even like try to stop you from playing the actual game. Right? And it's like you're playing a game, like what are you there for, right? But yeah. I haven't had the time to like take a look at where wins meet. Maybe we'll look at it like over the holidays if I can find time for it. Well, yeah, but also the thing is too, right? Like I guess the gacha server is a bit different, but like you also like you can farm stuff in a different way when you feel like it. You don't have to do everything constantly. It's the same thing with like the gacha server where like you're pretty like it pretty much like boiled down to a lot of the stuff you would do in the gacha server for ToF was more so because you wanted to, not because you had to. And like that's the difference there. But yeah, hi water. Welcome, welcome. We're just doing one more of the reacts before I have to head out and just have the thing rerun the Snowbreak section from earlier. Because I have to like touch snow for a couple hours. But yeah. Replaced all of them, damn. No, like for me, like if I need to like find space and stuff where to put it and everything. Cause like I have to like organize stuff there. At the same time too, like I wanna get like I got a new SSD that I'm gonna put in my PC, but I can't put it in yet because of EnVtuber beta. I don't wanna completely lose access until I finish it. And other stuff there. But yeah.
This 590 pack isn't even remotely enough to take a unit from 50 to 60, you need multiples. Hope they give away more income via events or daily farming stages. And because Styx is still being a prolapsed piece of shit on Twitter talking about things he has no idea about, I mean, to be fair, he's apparently built a career off doing that shit since his MMO days from what I've been told.
Yep.
I'll throw his ass under the bus here again. Remember my last video about the GFL2 skin drama, right? Where I questioned whether or not Styx ever did play GFL2 outside of his sponsor streams? Well, let's just go ahead and chalk that up to him either straight up not playing or, you know, having some account manager do that shit for him. Basically, seeing all this got me wanting to talk about how I think a lot of gacha content creators out there do not play as much gacha as I think they should. It's these people's literal job to play gacha games. At least for the ones who can pay their bills and put food on their tables by making videos about gacha or streaming them or something, and yet it feels like an alarming number of them don't play as much as they should. Jade in her tweet says that she's playing 6 gachas and used to play 5 more. She even puts her account levels next to each of them. I assume this is because she thinks having a high account level is supposed to be impressive. Well then, if that's the case, allow me to share my own gacha resume with you guys right now, if we're gonna call it that. FGO level 166, Azure Lane level 148, Arknights level 120, Genshin AR60, Blue Archive level 90, Nikkei account level 703, Synchro 562, Starrail TL70, Aethergazer level 100, Snowbreak level 100, Wuwa UL 80, Zenless IL 60, GFL2 level 60, Exedra level 112. Both BD2 and Uma Musume don't really have account levels as far as I can tell, but I still grind those two games every day anyway. Horizon Walker level
I can't like take anything from those
43,
clowns.
45 by the time I'm making this video. And Do It Night Abyss TR24, though I've only played a few days of it due to my side hustle taking up time that I would have spent playing DNA. Hopefully, that'll change in the future though. Yes, that was in fact 18 gacha games that I just listed, and since Jade listed the gachas that she's on break from and the ones that aren't out yet, let me do the same here too. I dropped GFL 1, not GFL 2, Crystalline 1, back in April of last year, and I played that game for 6 years straight since day one when it first launched its NA server for the first time back in May of 2018. I also briefly played Touhou Lost Word and Magia Record, but I dropped those two pretty fast since I wasn't really feeling them in terms of gameplay. And for future gachas, I got Enfield, Azure Promilia, NTE, Ananta, and Silver Palace all on my docket too. Even after I've rattled off all the account levels for all my gachas, that only scratches the surface of the sheer amount of grind I put into all of them. While I won't go into detail for every single one of my gachas, as that would take too long, what I will say is that every character I have in Genshin is max level, max skill, minus crowns of course, because you can't farm those, and they all have their own weapons and artifact sets because I want all my characters to have gear that they can call their own. Similar story in Star Rail, Zenless, and Wuwa. In his first tweet, Pokey first implies that something is stopping him from playing Chaos Zero Nightmare as much as he wants, and then it seems like he specifies what that something is in his second tweet, the fact that it takes a long time and a lot of resources to level up characters. I find this to be very funny, because the game's given out a ton of stamina refreshing items, so that players can binge the game a lot when it first came out. And given that CZN is modeled like a Hoyo game, at least with how its gacha works, I would also assume that, CZN also lets you refresh stamina using gems. Albeit, only like 6 times a day or something, but nonetheless, that still means that you can grind the game even harder. Now, some of you may go, well, you should never refresh with gems, man, that's such a waste. And for most players, yeah, I agree, normally it would be a huge waste.
And the money goes away, he stops doing it, man.
But Pokey is far...
Like, realistically speaking, man, like, this goes for, like, any of these other things, too, like, any of these other future games or whatever that want to, like, push their stuff out. They should avoid Tectone and anyone that was part of his group, because they're all gonna do the same shit anyways. And, like, you see their behavior at the end of the day, and, like, as soon as, like, they stop getting them the money, they're gonna completely flip and do a 180 anyways, and they're only there to just milk it to make as much money as they can while they can, and then as soon as it goes away, they start leaving, or they do something else to go continue chasing clout, and nothing more. This goes to, like, all of these publishers, man. Like, realistically, right, for, like, all those other future games you might see coming or whatever, they really should avoid them like the plague. They should just avoid them completely. Like, as soon as, like, they see those guys, they should just make, like, Tectone's hairline and recede. Like, get the fuck out. And just blacklist them. Like, at some point, I think, like someone needs to, like, actually, like, make a blacklist and, like, try to, like, share it with those publishers on who to avoid. Like, actually. I mean, like, you go see them, like, like, if they can't, like, prop it up and use it to farm people, you see what they end up doing next anyways, Like, it's the same thing from all of them. Like, you see it from Tectone, you see it from, the Wuwa Pepegas that he brought up with fucking, Saint Task cabinets and whatever, or the other stuff in the gacha cast or whatever they had. You see it, Ethan, they're the same thing. You get Glaive, the same bullshit as well. Like, all of them. Fucking Brax is part of their loops to some extent, the same thing. M-Cashwell not part of it, he's technically, I would group him in there too. Like, a lot of them just, like, they should just have, like, a big, like, freaking blacklist on, like, a lot of them. A lot of them, because again, it's like, they'll farm what they can, and then they stop it immediately afterwards. Yeah, because he was caught, man. AI stuff, he got caught. It's crazy, man. But yeah, like, the reality is a lot of them are not even gonna be there to play the actual game, because, let's be real, with a lot of these, the game part is just non-existent. Right? Like, they'll throw, like, a bunch of stuff to, like, fool you or to trick you into make you think there's something there. But then again, it's like, once you go beneath the surface, it's like, oh wait, there's, like, nothing actually there. And then that's just kind of how we're at. And then it's like, fuck, like, I've blocked on Twitter, like, hundreds of accounts. But, like, it doesn't matter. Whenever, I check Twitter, look at my timeline, these pieces of shit just keep popping up, and it just gets annoying. And to a point where, like, I just got tired of it, and I just stopped blocking everything I see. Sometimes I will block stuff, but, like, it's more so just so I can keep it clean. But like they just keep like these guys keep spamming and botting their way or whatever, doing other shit in there to get in, and it's just annoying. Is there I guess there's a Silver Palace trailer or whatever. Like the thing is with a lot of these games as well, it's like I see the trailers or whatever with a lot of them, but it's like they don't really have me sold on the game. It's like, you know what, I'll be down to try them, but like getting me to like actually want to play it longer term is not really something that ends up happening. If I end up like, with a lot of them, I end up finding it's like if I give it more than a day, usually with a lot of them, it's more so for different reasons, just to see how much worse or whatever it can get if I'm curious. Either that or I end up dropping a lot of them because I end up thinking like, wait, why don't I just play this other game that doesn't have these problems instead? And like the thing as well for me as well with these live service games, like if it's like single player only and then it's just set up that way, I'd rather just not have it be a live service. I would much rather just like have the game just be released full, all the content there, and then like without any of the bullshit of and like the problems of a live service, and then them just release expansions or sequels later if they want to continue, rather than do what they do. I've done that like every couple of months, but then it just gets really annoying that I have to reblock them all again because a lot of these guys just keep making more and more accounts. And like and this is part of why I also don't end up checking it too often. At this point, most of the time, unless someone like I see something on Discord and I see like, hey, let me post something for the lulz, it's mostly just me updating and posting my schedule here. But yeah, like here's what buying RAM now is kind of like. It's like the RAM I want, and it's like you got some DDR5 DIMMs here, RGB DDR5 DIMMs, but then the RAM I can afford is the truck. But like yeah, like a lot of the thing though is just it's mostly just me posting the schedule there. Sometimes a couple other things here or there, but I don't really check the stuff on here too often anymore because of that. It's part of why for like a lot of the time it's like you have like very, very long dead periods, and then I'll look at a bunch of stuff and repost a bunch of stuff quickly one day when I see a bunch of stuff, and then like it's dead again until like the next week. Yep, that's true. And like the thing is too, it's like my complaints of it. Here's the thing, right? With a lot of them, it's like they're like hate playing or they're playing something with a lot of them from what I've seen. Just to, like it feels like they're not playing them because they want to, but because like they're doing it out of spite. You especially see with the Wua people there, right? It's like they like to prop it up and they like to put it up against Hoyo and stuff, not because they actually genuinely like it or they genuinely enjoy it or they're actually playing it actively. But rather instead, it's so they can go and attack and spite Hoyo. It's like, bruh, that's like the only reason why a lot of them are doing their things. And you kind of see it a lot as well with the group of people they're farming for the creators as well. You kind of notice that. Right? Yeah, I ended up making the joke too here the other day where it's just like, you know, how the fuck will we get Player's Choice? But then you look at the freaking channel and it's just like their trailers for 3.0, and and then like the excuse of the live stream, the view count is so low, where it's like, bruh, they fucking bought their players' voice votes as well, right? Like I can't. I'm not even making this shit up. I made like as a response, right? Like if we go to this one. Where was the original post? Did the original post that I replied to with get deleted? I guess. But like, what would trailer? Not even 250,000 views. And then like the broadcast, barely 1/3 It's like, bro, what the fuck? You know? Considering like other trailers for things that are upcoming at the Game Awards, they were getting like, you know, like 7, 8. I think one of them got like 10 million views in like 3 days. We didn't even get to the thing there. And like people were saying, but the reason why the view count's so low, whatever, is because people are waiting for the live stream, and then you see the live stream view count. Right. It is what it is, man. Like for me, you know, it's like I saw I saw clips of the 3.0 thing because like, you know, if I scroll around, like you'll see some stuff. I saw they have like a bike or whatever. But like I'm not gonna watch the trailer or whatever, cause like I'm just not interested. And frankly, because of the core game itself of what it is there underneath, right? Like I don't like it in the Hoyo games. I'm probably not gonna like it in another game that is literally trying to be a copycat and do everything that the other one is doing, but slightly different. Like especially if they just inherit all the same issues and then add a bunch of new problems on top. Right? It's like if I don't like it one place, I'm probably not gonna like it in another. And none of them have really done enough to make me want to tolerate them. Tolerate their issues. But yeah, like for me it's like gameplay is the most important part, not really the flashy visuals or the hype moments or whatever that they like to prop up. Like the actual game part itself is the most important part. But like, let me find the clip as well. Because like the thing is with Wua, like I remember like last year, right? People wanted me to go try 2.0 after I quit after 1.0. And like as a joke, because I remember how automated the stuff was. I was like trying to play Balatro at the same time as it doing that. And like lo and behold, when you realize like all of it is just like a visual fluff and not much more, it's to the point where like everything is so heavily automated. I was able to beat the freaking 2.0 story while playing Balatro at the same time. And the reality is I was just paying attention to Balatro and just mashing through stuff on the Wua side. Because like the reality is, especially with the QTE stuff, you don't have to do anything. Yeah, that's the thing, right? You get the cool looking character, but then that's it. Right? It's like, okay, what else do you do? Do you want to just go farm the freaking boring, stupid circles to go farm a bunch of materials that are gated behind weeks of wave plates? Right? And weekly boss reset mods, just so you can level up the character and their skills and their weapon, and then deal with the awful RNG of the Echo stuff. Like, the stuff was already completely absurd with Genshin, and then Wua's RNG for gearing, it just takes it up a couple of levels to the point where it's like, where Genshin were like, most of the parts were still terrible, but at least they were like 0.00001%, you know, chances of getting a min-max piece for everything except for the goblet. And then like Wua is like, now let's make everything drastically worse than leveling up than getting your perfect goblet in Genshin. Because they decided that we'll have even more substats and more wider ranges and everything to layer on the RNG. Ah, sure, you can go infinitely farm the main stat as if that mattered. Right? And it's like, it got to the point where it's like, RNG was like, hey, if winning the lottery is like 1 in 15 million odds to guess 6 numbers, where you have 50 different possible numbers between them, if that's roughly 1 in 50 million, 15, 1-5. You know, it's kind of absurd when they get to like a 1 in 300 plus million, it's just to deal with all the substats. Right? Like, if you just look at the substats on Wua Echoes, it's just like, bruh. 1 in 300 million odds because they have stuff in a range. People have found out from like gathering countless upon countless amounts of Echo Drop data and putting in tables. Like, you can find it on the wiki. So like, you just look it up. Which was the wiki for the substats? Right. Like, you find out like the different distribution rates for some of these stats. We don't need to worry about main stat. But like, you can kind of see the probability and everything on how to get like the higher rolls and the ranges. Like, we're looking at some cases, like, this is just a chance to get some of them, and it's like, these things are very, very low, like, 2% to get, like, the highest value, and you're competing against all of these, right? And it's like when you combine them and factor everything together to get the stats that you're looking for, you end up with like a 1 in 300 mil odds just to get the single min-maxed piece. It's absurd. Well, he loves to farm engagement because, like, that's the thing with drama. You can do that a lot. It's just that it's also like a double-edged sword because the reality is nobody wants to work with you if that's all you're doing too. At least nobody with a brain would want to work with you if that's all you're doing. But a lot of these Chinese companies trying to publish things overseas, they don't understand that yet. Yeah, like once you like understand it and like factor in, right? Because like they're all competing against each other, and then even then, this is your distribution chance of getting like a specific value when you're like rolling any of them. And like the reality is here, you know, it's like 3%, 2 to 3% to get the highest value roll, and you want the highest value roll for each substat. Because it is a significant stat budget difference to get them min-maxed. And you have to do it 5 times over. Like, this is the pool. The pool here is so wide. There are more substats in this pool that you can get than you can get Goblet main stats in Genshin. And getting a Goblet main stat in Genshin is already pure pain. Yeah, this is like your entire pool here, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 possible substats. And like to get the maximum value in each, that's another, if you round up, 3% roll. Yeah, they made it excessively grindy because the reality is it's how they trick you into staying there forever when there's nothing there. And this is not just a problem with WoW, but it's like a lot of these games, they're just doing their shit. And it gets really, really annoying. But then it's like, at the same time, you think about, like, why you even do this shit? Right? And then it's like, oh, you're gonna go farm for more premium currency? But then if you have to pull to get the premium currency, is it even worth it, you know? Right? Like, let's see. What was like the pull tracker? We can like use that as like an average to thing. What's like the average people are getting their thing around? I'm pretty sure it was like, which one is it? Was it this website? I don't know which one people are using. I think it's this one. Oh, wait. What's the tracker that people use? Like for average pull? I remember like seeing something with like a chart before. But like I don't really pay attention to this shit. Here, global stats. Pull for pity, but then they have to like go twice if they lose the thing. Because there used to be one where like they would go further, like at 50% of the time, they're getting the pull. And they're getting the thing at around most of them, like it skyrockets to like 80. So it's between like 75 and 80. So you would double that, you get to around 150. Right? So 150 pulls times 160. If we assume again 70 pulls for the weapon. Right? Like this is your total asteroid cost or whatever. Right? But then like let's say you do TOA, right? TOA you get, let's say, I think it was what, 800 or something? What was it? Was it 800? For max rewards. But like you can use 9 characters in there, so each character is worth 1/9 of that. So then you're basically getting 89 asteroids per run. You know, per character. It would take you 396 resets using them. But you only get 12 resets a year. So that's 33 years to break even. So it's like you go do all that to then go do the thing again in a stupid circle with a timer. And then if you're trying to get back your currency, the reality is you're not going to get it back in 33 years. Like, you're not going to get the thing back for another 33 years. And that's assuming you use the same lineup every single time for 33 years straight when Which, you know, good luck doing that. Especially when things slowly get power crept anyways. Right. But yeah.
From your average gacha player here. Like, he's a gacha streamer who mains Star Rail, and in at least one occasion, even got enough money donated to his ass by his oilers in chat to fund one of his E6 characters in that game. So for a guy like him...
Damn, so someone donated him enough to buy a 5090.
Whose job is to essentially
That's
play
crazy.
gacha games here, refreshing stamina with gems should not be that big of a deal to him. Maybe he actually does refresh stamina in CZN with gems and I just don't know about it. Maybe that second tweet was more intended to be like a PSA for his followers or something like that, and that leveling up characters in CZN takes a long time and that, you know, players should be careful with their resources because they're very limited, especially in early game. But looking at the way that his tweets are worded as they are, it really seems like Pokey is blaming his inability to play as much of the game as he wants to on the huge investment cost of characters in that game. As an FGO player with 8 whole level 120s, I find his reluctance to grind a gacha game to be both hilarious and depressing. A single level 120 in FGO took me more grind than the entire year and a half that I put into either Zenless or
Fair
Woo.
enough.
And in my experience, the process of leveling characters in a game like Chaos Zero Nightmare feels relatively
I mean, the
similar
thing
to
is, too,
Hoyo
like, for
games.
me,
I
there's
did
not
say
really much
earlier that
incentive for me to
CZN is
even play them
basically
as well,
modeled
so it's
after
like, it makes it
Hoyo,
harder
so
for
that
me
checks
to
out.
thing.
So given that Pokey mains Star Rail, a Hoyo game, why is he complaining about how long it takes to invest?
It's kind of a mixed bag. I'm, like, still, like... So I finally finished farming all the stuff I needed to for the patch. I didn't do the 2 event stories yet. But, like... I do want to, like, eventually get my review out, for Duet Night Abyss. It's just that now it's, like, it's so close to 1.1, I feel like I'm, like, torn between, like, making up a script and trying to get it done by the, like, late early next week. Or just waiting for the patch to drop, go through it a bit, and then, like, put the review early next year. For Duet Night Abyss. Because, like, the thing is, from what I saw with the live stream with Duet Night Abyss, it didn't do anything to address my actual concerns and issues. They didn't say anything in there. And, like, part of the problem is, yes, you can infinitely grind and farm for a lot of things. It's just that the way a lot of it is set up and the stuff you're doing is really boring. To the point where, like, people are just, like, using things like 8-bit DOE controllers that can, like, auto-replay a set script that you programmed on the controller to just keep farming, or do all sorts of other things in a loop. There are people doing macros and all sorts of other stuff as well. Because the reality is, just sitting there and just clicking the thing to repeat the thing over and over again for hours upon hours on end, to eventually farm the thing you need, it's very mind-numbingly and tedious. Right. And, like, the thing is, too, with a lot of these games, again, it's like the Reggie clip. A lot of them just don't, you know, they don't really fit the thing here.
The game is fun. The game is a battle. If it's not fun, why bother? If it's not a battle, where's the fun?
Right, a lot of them just don't. You know, they don't pass that test, man. A lot of them don't. Like, I'll see a lot of them, I'll look up a little bit of them, but then it's just like, oh yeah, okay. And that's what makes it really hard for me to want to, like, bother with it, if I don't have enough of an incentive. And then again, like, with these live service ones, they really have to do something, and, like, they really have to really push themselves to really do something to make me want to tolerate the issues that they inherit. It's just that they don't. You know, flashy visuals and fancy graphics and everything is not enough for me. You know, the first game I ever played growing up, and one of the ones I had the most fun with, even though I was like 3 years old at the time, was like playing Sonic 1 on the Genesis, I would like always just get to like a marble zone and then like get a game over because I didn't know what I was doing. But all I remember is I just had so much fun. It's just like rolling into the ball and just launching myself everywhere and just jumping all over the place. It was the game pretty simple, yes. You know, but it was more than enough to keep me entertained when I was 3. The funny part is a lot of these games, if I gave them to my 3-year-old self, I would probably just get bored and leave. Because I'm not having fun in there. Right? Like, I don't find a lot of them engaging. And it's just like, again, they throw flashy visuals on there. And again, like, even if we go with my older self that's like okay with like sitting down and playing stuff that have like really long stories and tons of dialogue. They need to do it in a way where I actually want to read and pay attention. And not just be the freaking word count quotas that they like to fill. Right? And like, that's the thing, right? At least I can see why you can see them a bit better, because most of those problems with the story part, it's mostly an issue with the Chinese games. I haven't seen it in a problem with any of the Korean or Japanese live service games I've tried before in the past. It's mostly a Chinese problem. I don't know why they end up having the problem with the Chinese ones, but like the Japanese and the Korean ones, though I haven't played that many of the live service stuff from there, they don't seem to have that problem. At least from my experience. Yeah, it's really good, and they're gonna come out with the sequel to that Trails in the Sky second chapter sometime next year. So you can slowly go through everything there. So you're definitely gonna enjoy that one. Yeah, I know they're South Korean, those ones. It's like, again, like I said, it's like, it's most of the problem I see with like word count quotas and stuff like that trying to be met and like trying to force themselves out. It's like the Chinese game problem. I've only seen it with the Chinese ones. And the only times I haven't seen it is where like, it's like they don't really have that type of thing being forced on them. And it's more like they're doing whatever they can because they want to, or because they actually genuinely want to do whatever there. And not because like they have to. But, you know, it's only really one studio that fits that from the Chinese ones, and like the rest just don't.
Best into characters. Like, CZN even has an auto mode too. It's not that good, to be fair, but it's better than nothing, so what the f is his excuse? I don't know how much experience Pokey has with gacha exactly. I am aware that he started doing gacha content with Counterside before transitioning to Star Rail, but whether he's played other gachas before Counterside, that I don't know. But assuming he really did start with Counterside, and given that he mains Star Rail, I guess I shouldn't be so surprised.
And like, I guess like, let me pull it up actually, let's see if we can find it. Because pretty much really, for like these upcoming things, outside of like, the only ones that like I can actually see myself playing, outside of NTE and then maybe an Anta, we'll see what happens, is like this thing. Let me see if I can find the gameplay for you. Because this one like actually looks like a fun mess, but like really scuffed. Let me see, where's the like actual bigger gameplay? It was like a really long one I remember seeing before. Does this one even have it? No, I don't think this one has it. Never mind. Fuck, I don't remember where that old Wang Yu video was. I remember like seeing like weird crazy shit in an older Wang Yu thing from like a year ago or something. There was like here, this old one, 2 years ago. Not this far. I don't really care about the combat. The combat in these games are kind of just whatever. I don't end up really caring that much anymore. You played one of these like 3D anime games on like that are also like on mobile for the combat. You've played all of them because a lot of them basically play pretty much the same. Where's the one with the crazy stuff? Was it this one or? Fuck, I don't, no, it's not this one. Wait, maybe it might have been this one. It's like later on. I really don't feel like finishing Enfield now with the beta. Because it was so painful, man. I don't think this will get an English release, though. The main part is, like, the weird shit you can do later on. I saw some of it. There was, like, other thing I saw, too. Because, like, they have, like, weird things you can mess around with gadgets here. You can, like, build stuff in the map. And, like, do funny stuff. So, like, here. It's mostly, like, this section that I saw. And then I saw something else at one point when Mr. Cake, when I was like lurking Mr. Cake's stream, like I think it was like a year or 2 years ago. And like they were looking at like a beta or whatever, other beta gameplay of this shit. Like this guy's just building some random ass thing here. And just like messing around. Right, he's like stealing props or objects in the world and just messing around here. And then he's just gonna, and then he's just gonna get on it, I think. And like, there was like a video of as well, like gameplay where I saw them like attaching rockets and shit and jet boosters to a car. They were just like launching themselves. It's more so because like this stuff would be like fun to mess around with at least for a bit. And now they're just shooting stuff like this. Just because. But I doubt we'll ever get this, like, outside of China. Because, like, depending on where you can take this, it might actually be interesting. Exactly! Right? So, like, I can imagine just, like, making a mess out of your own world or whatever at some point. And it could be interesting. But whether or not we actually get that is a different story. There was, like, another one I remember seeing before, but I think it was on Mr. Cake's stream where they were adding, like, rocket boosters and shit to a car. And just launching themselves. Because fun. Right? Like, that's the most important part, you know? Sometimes I feel like people forget that. Right? And then, like, you look at PlayStation games as well for, like, the past while, a lot of them, like, especially Naughty Dog side. You know, this is the funny part. The guy who's literally in charge of Naughty Dog, we don't use the word fun. There's, like, an actual infamous quote from that guy. Which is just crazy. Reminds me of what happened when The Last of Us 2 launched and what really went down there. That was quite the sight there. To see just how you know, they were freaking clips of stuff of people like ripping out the game from their PlayStations and like actually destroying it and stuff. It is what it is, man.
That he thinks grinding out characters in CZN takes too long for him. And so my question is this: what is keeping these CCs?
Right, I remember. It's like, gee, I wonder what led to that.
Like, I don't know how these people live, obviously.
They probably will be. I think they'll probably forget the most important part of the game,
so I don't
of being a
judge
game.
Partially off that. But in Pokey's case, going through his Twitter a bit, he's posted IRL pictures of him flexing in the camera and shit like that. So I assume he spends time in the gym. I admire that. I should start doing that myself with these, you know, twig-type looking arms that I got. But then I have to ask, how much time does someone like Pokey put into gacha games overall? Maybe his gym workouts don't take that long, but what about the other stuff he does? Like, I know he's big into League of Legends. I'm surprised he and St. Tontus don't get along better. So, how much time does he spend playing League? Some of his tweets are about him watching Worlds recently, so I assume he spends a good bit of time playing, too. You can spend your time doing what you want, obviously. I'm not saying that you gotta have gacha on your mind 24/7, like, say, St. Tontus or that one John Seaman dude on Twitter got Tectone's dick on theirs. I watch other people,
I know,
like, other streamers and VTubers who have...
They changed, man. Part of the problem was Naughty Dog, for example, is not run by the same guy who was running it back then. That's why. The guy who was in charge when they were making those older games, like the Uncharted games, he hasn't worked in Naughty Dog for over 10 years now. He was completely gone. Heck, you know, The Last of Us was something they originally proposed to, like, make, like, 20 plus years ago. And the only reason why it was even able to come out and happen was because the guy who was actually in charge, in the past, would stop it from, would do what he, was constantly stopping the pitch. Eventually, the guy stepped down, retired, and he left, and Neil Druckmann took over. And, like, that's how things, you know, ended up the way they did. The cool stuff from before, you're never gonna get it out of them again. Because the people who are responsible for it and the philosophy that was, like, running the company there back then in the studio is completely different than what you have now. No, he was still part of the company, but he wasn't in charge. He wasn't in charge, and he was not, like, dictating everything. The original founder of the thing was. And, yeah. Like, that, like, there's, like, some videos you can find that go over it, but it's, like, actually pretty crazy. Like, the last game the original founder of the Naughty Dog was, like, a part of was The Last of Us Part 1. And there's the reason why The Last of Us Part 1 is fine, but the sequel is not. Like, that was the last thing he worked on, and he kind of wanted it to end there. The Last of Us Part 2 was never supposed to come out, and it was never supposed to exist. But of course, Neil Druckmann wanted to push a bunch of the shit that was originally going to be in his original plan for Part 1 that never ended up happening. And then they did their own, and then he did other stuff, he added a bunch of other stuff on top. But yeah. It's a little mess, man. Right. Because, like, the original Last of Us was meant to, like, end and be open-ended, but the ending there, and you interpret, and you were supposed to originally just interpret what goes on from there. Like, that was, like, the original intent. And then, of course, the sequel just kind of just does away with all of that. And then they added stuff like killing Joel and stuff, yeah. To then go push some other stuff in there that the reality is a lot of the people who were, like, into that stuff just didn't want. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens there. It is what it is, and it's just unfortunate when things that were really cool just end up, you know, going downhill.
I've admitted that, you know, they don't really play games off stream since they already spend their entire streaming careers doing that anyway. So I get that since you play gacha for hours on stream, maybe you don't want to touch it afterwards once you're done. But regardless of the reasons, that
Nope.
little time...
He doesn't, man. He's, people know that he actually has an account manager for his stuff. He's talked about it before. If you've seen enough of it or heard enough of his stuff over, like, in the past, like, a lot of us know that he has account managers. It is what it is, though.
That they are not spending on actually playing gacha. And no, contrary to popular CC behavior, bitching about gacha games or engagement baiting about them on Twitter doesn't count. Actually, just playing other gachas alone still isn't enough.
Okay.
Because remember, people play gachas for sponsors, and they
Yep.
don't give a rat's ass about those games afterwards once the sponsorship is done. Gacha
Yep.
CCs shouldn't just play more gacha, they should actually have a genuine interest in learning how other gachas work. This ain't like you're stuck in a f***ing office cubicle for 8 or 9 hours straight. I would know, I worked in one for 7 years. You play video games for a living. Like, what are you so scared of playing them for? The reason why I think this is such a huge issue is because gacha CCs, just from my own observations, don't know enough about gacha games in general to put out informed, educated takes consistently enough in this space. Like, I don't need to tell you this, but every month or so, or hell, even every few weeks or so, there's always some kind of drama that makes the rounds on gacha Twitter or just social media in general. And almost every time I look inside, right, it's some ass retarded take that gets spread around like Captain Cabinet spreads her legs for St. Thomas, or was it Itoma?
Spreading her legs for St. Thomas. Okay, that's pretty funny. That's actually kind of funny there. The Itoma guy, the balding guy over there.
And then in turn, people spread their own cheeks to blast out their own dog shit takes in response to the first one. That whole debate slash drama about whose gameplay is better between Genshin or WoA, yeah, that's...
It's literally like the same type of shit, man. Just one is flashier than the other. Like, it's really not that crazy or interesting or different, man. One is just way more flashier. I guess WoW's combat is more innovative in the fact that you can pay even less attention to it. Because how the fuck are you paying attention to what goes on when your entire screen is just full of visual bloat and you can't see anything? So they have to make everything so automated and everything is like magnetic. Just so like it's somewhat doable. If you can call it somewhat like doable or somewhat playable. If you can call it that. But yeah, it's just the same shit. It's part of why, for me, honestly, with a lot of these games, I don't care that much about the combat anymore. For a lot of them, because they all end up being the same, and I'm not exactly the biggest fan of them. With them being the way they are, I just don't find it that engaging or that interesting. And again, it's just like, it loses quite a bit of what they can be and what they can do when you can just buy more power anyways. They all, like, just pretty much lose a lot that way. So, like, the rest of the game has to pick up the slack. But, like, if they aren't picking up the slack for the rest of it and everything else in there, or there's just nothing else in there, I'm not exactly gonna look at them, like, favorably, if at all. Because I'm looking at everything as a whole. And I still have, like, a hierarchy of, like, what I value more. Gameplay is what I value more, not combat. Right? Like, cause, like, there's a difference. Cause you can have gameplay in other aspects without it being combat related. But, like, if combat is your only gameplay, and the combat itself is just ass, you know? Or, like, not engaging, and it's just a bunch of flashy visuals thrown at me, I'm gonna stop caring pretty quickly. Like the funniest shit is, like, they talk about this stuff. Like, if we're talking about, like, an open world single player live service gacha, I found the combat in fucking Infinity Nikki drastically more engaging to me than the vast majority of these 3D action gachas in there. Because the Infinity Nikki doesn't have everything magnetic and I actually have to position and move around. I actually have to do something. It might be pretty basic, but it's a lot more engaging for me than any of these other games. Because it actually requires more effort. What do you mean I can't just mash the basic attack button and press skills off cooldown and hit the target regardless of where I am? And then I don't have to care about positioning, I have to actually move around. What do you mean I actually have to pay attention to what's going on and move? Like an actual game. Right, but then, like, Infinity Nikki is a 3D platformer with a bunch of dress-up stuff. While the other ones is just, I don't even know. They're pretending to be a game without actually being the game.
That's one. Another is Styx moral jerking himself over gachas like GFL 2 or Stella Sora. His recent take on the Koreans forcing Yosu.
It is what it is, though, man.
Animation from Stella Sora that they didn't like shows that he has absolutely zero clue as to why they did that. And while, yes, I also agree that the Korean players' reaction there was pretty...
A lot of them are just doomed because of that, pretty much.
That Styx here, in this situation, comes off
Hopefully,
as
man.
stereotypical, ignorant, stupid, retarded American, talking about shit he has no idea about, and just injecting his own high-horse moral dog shit into the whole thing. How much of that did he do back in the MMO space, I wonder?
But yeah, we're just gonna finish this one and then I have to head out.
Own video, hopefully sooner rather than later. And even more so than individual content creators, the gacha space in
I'll speed this up a little bit.
has misinformation and bad takes circulating constantly, day in,
Yep,
day out.
there's tons of
Gacha creators on
misinformation.
Twitter love to tribalize their gachas. Hoyotards attacking Wuwakucks who then return the favor twofold. They attack the developers for like not giving their characters enough melanin or not
Yeah,
enough
it's so
rewards for
dumb.
anniversary. And no matter how justified they may be in their opinions, they invariably react with shit like, I don't know, review bombing completely unrelated apps and
Exactly.
social media boycotts. Damn, sure showed Hoyo now, didn't they? And display other parentless behavior that suit, you know, crackheads who live behind the corner gas station and scream at random people walking by at 1 in the morning. It's not even just within the gacha space that I see bad takes about gacha. Anywhere you go online where there isn't like a specific focus on gacha, where the target audience doesn't really care for gacha games, people hella judge them and the people who play them. Right? Pay to win games. Oh, gacha games have no gameplay. They're just slot machine gambling games.
I do think that
I mean, he's not wrong for a lot of them. They pretty much are that. They barely have any gameplay. He's not wrong.
gacha players are the most mind-broken community
Yes, they are.
of any video game. Because there is no
Yep.
way that you can play a turn-based video
Yeah,
game
Maggie's like
and
the
play
only one that
Star
actually
Realm
bothered to
and say
do
it's
stuff with the
generous
game there.
because you only have to spend $200 to get character.
Anytime I hang out in Maximilian Dude's stream, for example, when he's live reacting to a game show like, I don't know, Sony State of Play or something, or the Game Awards, and a gacha game shows up, his entire chat just goes all like,
No, God!
No, God, please
No,
not yet.
God, please, no! No! No!
Oh, this clip was taken from Canadian Cable
gacha
there.
CCs out there, from my perspective at least, are capable or knowledgeable enough to talk about the very genre they play.
That was
I don't
a
mean
clip,
in
but it was like
"Oh,
the
he doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to Star Rail kind of way. Obviously he does.
the clip in there, because like I saw the global watermark.
I'm sure he knows way more about that game than I will ever care to. But when he starts talking about power creep in Star Rail,
Someone like screen captured it when it was airing on Canadian Cable.
Become a problem for them in the first place. I kind of scratch my head here and go all, so how much exactly did Hoyo pay you to defend them? I mean, Poki does live in Singapore after all, and Hoyo also got their Cognisphere shell company down there too. So,
Yep.
Or when he makes not just one, but 2 whole ass videos glazing the fuck out of Star Rail's story as like the best story in any gacha game. Peak cinema as the meme goes. Gee, I wonder if he's ever played other gachas like, I don't know, FGO, or Limbus Company, or Nikkei, or Heaven Burns Red. I'm gonna guess no. And many such cases like this exist out there for lots of the bigger gacha CCs in this space, in that a gacha CC who makes a living off playing gacha in some way, shape, or form puts out a take about gacha that could definitely use some more nuance that they simply don't have. You may ask, well, why does all that matter? Like, what's it to you if gacha streamers and YouTubers don't know as much as you think they should about gacha? You can make content out of games that you don't fully understand. Not like there's a law forbidding that or anything. You don't need to play double-digit gachas like I do just to get a sense for how gacha games work, right? Sure, you're right about those things. Obviously, you don't have to play double-digit gacha games like I do, or play so much gacha to the point where you fall asleep playing them after coming home from work. But there's a reason why that still matters. Actually, there's a short-term reason and a long-term one. The short-term reason is because if you have more content creators who know the genre that they are making a living off of, you have more community leaders who can course-correct a potential narrative that's gone astray. They can use their influence to put people back onto the right path instead of going off the deep end, chasing after batshit insane takes or agendas being pushed by people who care for nothing more than their own games. Here's an example. In the fighting game community, or FGC for short, there was a tweet that went viral some time ago where someone complained about how they felt like Street Fighter 6, the current Street Fighter game, is the only game where kids can beat veteran players, and that you'd never see this happen in older fighting games like Third Strike. While that may seem like a reasonable take to a tourist or like a surface level player, actual veterans and FGC creators put out their own takes pretty quickly, countering that narrative by saying that it's not
Yeah, like a
just
lot of
Street
them
Fighter
just
6,
spread so
literally
much
how fighting games have
misinformation.
always been. Younger players have always been able to break into the top echelons of fighting game competition
Yep.
of any fighting game. It's just that
You
Street
talking
Fighter
about
6
fighting games
provides
there?
opportunities for younger players to participate in top level competition, so you tend to see younger players more in that game. That and get good. In the situation, FGC creators
Yep.
were able to shut down a bad take that was going around in the community at the time because they have the experience playing enough fighting games to know better. It also helps greatly that a lot of those creators have been part of the FGC, playing fighting games and attending tournaments for them for years, decades even. Or in other words, they got the pedigrees or the resumes to back their shit up. Obviously, it's kind of a stretch to compare fighting games with gacha games, but the point I'm trying to make here is that if the gacha community has more CCs who know what they're talking about when it comes to gacha games in general as an entire genre, then you wouldn't see as much drama and tribalism and sheer vitriol among gacha players on social media. Granted, there will still be a lot of drama regardless, but at the very least, there will be more people out there who will better understand what's really going on if their favorite creators are there to tell them, no, actually, this is what's really going on. Instead of whatever dog shit gacha drama just tears through Twitter with no one there to stop it from spreading like your average California wildfire, sometimes to the point where it reaches containment and non-gacha players start seeing that shit too. Certainly doesn't help that the rats will always be there to throw some more gas into the fire too whenever they feel like it benefits them. Imagine using an Ellen Joe cosplayer's suicide as just another way to throw shade at the Hoyo community. Jesus fucking Christ. but I'll save that for another video. Plus, people who see their favorite gacha streamers or YouTubers play other games that aren't just the usual Big Four slop, and they see that they're genuinely enjoying those games, outside of sponsorships of course, might make them want simple curiosity. Obviously, lots of people play other gacha that are the popular ones. Creates the opportunity for at least...
Yeah, but they're not gonna do it. They're only doing it for the bag. They're not gonna play all the other ones unless it's gonna make them money that they can milk.
some of their viewers to want to try them out too, and that's
Unfortunately.
how we increase this community's overall gacha literacy. The long-term reason why this is such a big deal is because of how the gacha community has turned out over the last 5 years. Gacha players are always bickering and arguing over something retarded on Twitter, either with themselves or with the people who make the gacha games they play. Gacha content creators have congregated around the biggest and most popular gachas out there with very little willingness to try out other gachas without a sponsorship, and of course, the
Exactly.
Gacha games have a reputation outside this space for being mindless gamble games that are no better than like virtual casinos that bait their
I mean, to an extent, that is what they are, unfortunately.
players in with hot anime girls and dudes, and gacha players themselves also have a reputation for being mindless drones who routinely feed money into the pockets of evil gacha game developers, among other things. As someone who cares about gacha games not just individually, but as an entire f***ing genre, I ain't a fan of that.
It's not a genre, though. It's just a monetization model.
I don't think people should think of gacha games or the people who play them just based off their reputations alone, no matter how much truth there is to them. I'm not saying that there's no truth to them whatsoever. I'm just saying that, as with everything in life, there's a lot more nuance to this that I'd like people to try to understand, gacha players included. And so having gacha content creators who know what they're talking about when it comes to gacha games is extremely important to help reverse that reputational damage that's been done. Ideally, we should have had gacha CCs like that from the start, back when Genshin first hit the streets like crack cocaine hit the projects back in the 60s, who were already very knowledgeable in gacha games and could help steer the newfound gacha audience that came with Genshin out here in the West in the right direction. By the way, this could be a whole ass video on its own too. But in the meantime, long story short, that didn't happen, which was both quite unfortunate and has contributed heavily to that reputation.
It feels weird going back to the slower speed.
Gacha games and gacha players incurring over the years. But that doesn't mean that I think the damage is completely irreversible. Matter of fact, I think that the gacha space is still redeemable. Very much so. It is possible to teach both gacha players and outsiders about what gacha games are really like.
I mean, for this stuff to really happen, all of those guys will have to, like, leave. They pretty much have to leave or, like, lose all face and, like, no one looks at them anymore. So they end up, so that people end up going after other places for that to maybe happen, but...
Or the stigma surrounding them. The problem is that you need gacha content creators there to pave that path, to trailblaze the way forward, so to speak. And in my eyes, unfortunately, there just isn't anyone else out there like that, other than yours truly. There are some who I think come close, but they either still fall short of having what it takes to shoulder that kind of responsibility, or they just haven't shown the willingness to do so.
Yep.
And in a space where the average person on social media cares more about a $200 skin ruining a gacha game than a dude who cares about bringing an AR-15 into a crowded public area,
Bruh.
I think that's a bit concerning. But like I said in a certain other
That's
video
crazy.
earlier this year, if what it takes to get the ball rolling on the path forward is one man, alone, betrayed by the community he loves, then so be it. I'll do it. To end the video, I want to talk about one last thing. You may deduce, given what I've been talking about so far in this video and my propensity to call myself the god of gacha sometimes in my previous videos, that I unironically see myself as such, that I view myself as the savior of gacha games, and I look down upon the rest of you Gentiles from atop my ivory gacha tower with 18 floors to it and counting. If that's what you want to think of me, then hey, that's cool. I ain't got a problem. Psyche seems to think that too, so you're not alone. Besides, people already call me like the god of unemployment and the god of beggars, mainly thanks to this trailer trash here. Actually, I want to point out how funny I think it is that he's the unemployed one now that he's had to sell his house and his ass still banned off Twitch, so hey, whatever you think of me, that's cool. Free country where I'm from, so they say. So that means that people have the freedom to be fucking retarded too. That Andrew Tate wannabe from before is a perfect example. But let me make one thing very fucking clear here. My #1 goal is to help people get into gacha games and enjoy them for what they are without being destructive to themselves or others. For example, recently on stream, I had a dude who found my YouTube channel just randomly while I was streaming Wuwa because the algorithm somehow recommended it to him, and he was like, whoa, oh shit, what's this game? Right? It looks cool. And I was like, it's called Wuthering Waves. You should try it. You should try it out if it looks cool. And now he is. On top of grinding Wood now, thanks to his friend, he's now checking out other gachas like Nikke and Zenless. And whenever he's got questions about those games, I answer them for him because I already play all of them. I do this not because I think I'm the only one fit for the job, but because I'm the only one who wants to. I am just a guy who likes gacha a lot. Some may say a bit too much, but it's precisely because I spent a ton of time playing these stupid gamble games, and at one point also spent a lot of money on them too, that lets me say the shit I've said so far, why ultimately the type of shit comes out of my mouth weighs more than whatever dog shit comes out of the others. What makes it even more sad is that I should not be the only one like this. There are other creators out there who also have invested a lot of their own resources, be it time or money or both.
Yeah, sadly people hate them, man.
They stick to their own audiences. And
they just stick there, yep.
Who haven't put in like a ton of time or money into gacha games, they can at least show more interest in gacha as a genre and strive to learn more about it. I mean, it is their job to play gacha, right? If a guy like me can work 5 to 8 hours on a side hustle, still come back home to stream 18 different gacha games, surely they can take some time out of their day to diversify their own.
That sounds painful, man.
And they do know that gachas...
That sounds painful to do 18, man.
...aren't just the big four. Like, I get that...
I know, I guess for most of them, he's just logging in for like 5 minutes, claim all this stuff, do the dailies, and then log off, but like... That's painful. Doing it 18 times over.
On the big four gachas helps pay the bills mainly, but hey, you can pick up a side hustle to help make ends meet too, just like I did. Oh, what's that? You don't want to? Gacha is just a bag for you, and you don't actually care about gacha games. You just got into it because you just got lucky with Genshin's popularity back in the day, and now it helps pay your bills and you don't want to pivot to anything else? And these are the kinds of people you watch for gacha content? One man! Thanks for watching. Like the video if you care about real gacha content, and subscribe for more. My next video is going to be a long overdue episode of Delusional Gacha Takes, where I dunk the out of that John Seaman twat and Glaive Keo's recent ass tweet, so look forward to it. Check out the stream. I'll be try-streaming to Kick soon, along with YouTube and Twitch. Check out the Patreon, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
But yeah, okay. From here though, I need to get ready to like and do stuff because I got like phone calls like twice now already. I gotta get some other stuff done. So I'll be back like later tonight. It's gonna be 12 p.m. here, noon. In like 8 minutes. I'll probably be back around 8 or 9 p.m. later, so like in about 8 hours or so, 8-9 hours. So like this is where we end the YouTube side and everything as well for now. And then I'm gonna just switch it over to let people AFK farm. I'll see you guys later though. I at least got through another one of the reacts in my backlog. Let me see if I can get it to play here. Oh wait, that's not the right one. Oh wait, I need to update the text. Because like, when I have this source to do the replay. I thought I edited the directory properly. Okay, there it is. Alright, so we have. So it'll be replaying this stuff for now. Snowbreak patch here. Let's see what we got here. I'm just gonna change the text that scrolls around to give the polls.
Missed me? Huh? Not even
I'll have to claim this stuff there in a bit. Ah yes, the compensation and everything. Of course. Do we even have enough to pull? I have no idea. Alright, one sec. Okay, let's see. Alright, okay. Right, like all these events are like not available yet. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna update the stream title and also no. The minigame mode is available. And there's all that stuff. Okay. Let's do the trials then. Let's see how the new character works first.
異常なし。新装備との相性よし。あとは私に任せてよし。くらえ。災いを服に。
I don't know what I just did, but I did something. But yeah, I'll see you guys. I'll be back in like 9 hours. Right? So it seems like